If you're one of those people who say, I have a bad picker, I always pick the worst people to be in a relationship with, I'm here to give it to you straight, and this might ruffle some feathers, but you are not a bad picker. You pick exactly who you need and who will be the perfect mirror to see your own reflection. The common denominator is you, and you keep getting the same relationship with different people because you aren't getting that it's you. I know this can sound harsh, but it's true. You have to see relationships for what they really are, and until you do, you'll never be able to step into your true power and have fulfilling relationships. Before we get into it, hi, I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel, and I'm here to help you get real, radiant, elevated, aligned, and liberated with me. So if you're into spirituality and holistic conscious living, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's get back to it. If you're having shitty relationship after shitty relationship, and you keep picking the same person in different skin, then there's something about you that's not only attracting those relationships, but also entertaining those relationships. You might have heard before that relationships are mirrors. They show us who we are, reflecting back our own patterns, insecurities, and beliefs. And once you shift your ideas about what relationships really are, you can use them to your full advantage to learn and grow, but more importantly, to heal. And then after the healing, you can attract from a higher vibrational place. I see so many people who keep perpetuating these cycles over and over and whining and complaining about their relationships, not realizing that the person you are looking for is you. I know this so well because this was me. And then I realized until I stopped thinking that I was a victim of these circumstances and some man was going to come and save me, I was going to keep going down this path. And by the way, I'm not referring to any type of physical abuse, and I know that there are women who are victims of this, but I'm talking about a victim mindset that you don't really realize you have. And here's the thing, if you're caught in a victim mentality, always blaming the outcome of the relationship on the other person, you're going to miss your opportunity for growth and for healing. You can't feel empowered when you feel like a victim. Every single relationship we have is an opportunity to understand more about who we are and who we are meant to be. So once you shift from being a victim and taking full responsibility for your own energy and part in your relationships, you will finally begin to heal and move out of victimhood and into the role of conscious creator, which is the best, right? So let's define exactly what victim mentality is in a relationship. It's when we feel like that everything is happening to us, like we're at the mercy of the other person's actions, moods, or decisions. It's that feeling of, if only they would change, I would be happy. The problem with this is that it keeps us stuck in powerlessness, waiting on someone or something outside of us to shift before we can be happy. We can't control anyone else's behavior. Our only job is to align with our own well-being and to focus on ours. And if we fall into this victim mindset, we forget our power, and that's when we start looking to others to make us feel a certain way. But real empowerment comes when we stop looking to the other person, focusing on what they do, and then we start asking, what is this situation showing me about myself? What is this relationship trying to teach me about me? Now, I know you may be thinking, what if they are actually in the wrong? Or what if they are causing all of the problems? Let me clarify. Taking responsibility for your part, your 50% of that relationship, doesn't mean blaming yourself or excusing bad behavior. It just means owning your 50% of the relationship and what energy you're bringing to it as well. It's never just one person's fault. Two people's energy creates a dynamic in a relationship. You are both each other's mirror. You're theirs and they're yours. You just have to be willing to ask yourself, what energy am I bringing to this relationship? Am I truly aligned with my own peace and my own joy? Or am I expecting them to fill that space for me? Because it's our job to get into alignment with our own selves and to release the resistance that we have to how others behave. We attract people and situations that will match our vibration. So if we're carrying around unresolved insecurities, lack of self-worth, or old wounds, our relationships will mirror those back to us. And here's the beautiful part. When we see this, we have the chance to shift our vibration and truly heal. And that's why you attract the people you attract, to bring out the parts in you that need to heal. And when you heal yourself, you heal your relationships. I'm not saying that we don't have preferences in relationships. Of course we do. Most of us want to be in a relationship where we feel respected and where we can be open and honest. There are all kinds of preferences that we can have. But if someone doesn't match the preferences that you have, you only have two choices. You either accept them as they are, or you end the relationship. But trying to change someone or complaining about what they are not doing right makes you a victim. And the first time someone fucks you over, you can be a victim. But if you stay after that, you've switched to being a volunteer. You went from victim to volunteer. And that's why we have to take 100% responsibility for 100% of our lives. So the next time something goes wrong in your relationship, instead of pointing fingers, pause and ask yourself, what's my 50% in this? What energy am I contributing? And this doesn't mean you're taking all the blame. It just simply means you're willing to own your part. Maybe you notice you're holding on to resentment, or that you tend to shut down instead of communicating openly. I know a lot of people do this. Or maybe you've been giving so much that you feel depleted, and then you start to resent them for not giving as much back. Pull back and honor yourself first. Then only give from a place of love, not fear. Give because you want to give, not because you fear if you don't, you might lose them. And here's the truth about that. It's not our partner's job to make us feel whole or validated. It's our job. So when we do this inner work and we become deliberate creators of our relationships, then we stop reacting and stop being a victim. And chances are, once they see that you can validate yourself and you have healthy boundaries, they will feel released from the responsibility that you're putting on them to validate you. Then they can give to you from that authentic place, not because you expect it from them. Once you release them from meeting your needs, because you can now meet your own, the whole energy of the relationship will shift, and it can be so much happier and healthier. Oftentimes, if we're feeling like a victim in one relationship, it's a pattern, and it might be showing up in all of our other relationships as well. So ask yourself, am I often feeling unappreciated, unheard, or undervalued? Because our inner beliefs create our outer world. So when we recognize a pattern, it's like finding the key to our own door of growth. Isn't that awesome? Instead of focusing on the other person, we can turn inward, turn eyes in, and ask, what's this pattern asking me to heal? What belief am I holding that keeps manifesting these experiences? And once we shift that belief, once we let go of those old stories, our relationships do start to change, because we're now bringing a whole new energy to them. If you're an overgiver, ask yourself, am I giving from a place of fear or from a place of love? Because giving from a place of fear is giving to make someone like us or to earn their validation, which is actually a form of manipulation. Then we are very hurt when we don't feel like that what we give is reciprocated. But when all of our actions come from a place of love, then we can expect nothing in return, because we are doing it because we want to, period. Being able to turn eyes in means understanding that relationships are powerful mirrors, and that we are willing to see our own shit. When we stop looking at others to complete us or validate us, we become fully empowered. When we start meeting our own needs, setting clear boundaries, and showing up as our authentic selves, that's when the magic starts to happen. Relationships become less about needing something from the other person and more about two people growing, healing, and evolving together. The best relationship is when two sovereign beings come together to love and support each other on our own individual journeys, and also willingly contribute to the relationship to make it the best that it can be. When you are in alignment with your own self, your higher self, you will attract others who are aligned with theirs. And that's how relationships become places of joy, growth, and deep connection. But I want to say this. Once you see your part in a current relationship and are willing to do your own work, sometimes volunteering to stay with that one person can give you the most growth, because being with someone you truly love is worth seeing how the relationship will go once you shift your own perspective. Especially if you're with someone who is willing to grow and evolve themselves. I do think in some circumstances you can cut a particular relationship too soon, which means if you haven't fully healed what that relationship showed up to teach you, you might do a similar relationship again. Love yourself and love your person unconditionally and see what happens. But also know that unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. You do have to learn and know how to set boundaries in relationships. It's about having good discernment to know who you want to be your mirror and who is worth staying to do the work with and who is not. So if you're feeling stuck, or if you've been caught in the trap of blaming or waiting for someone else to change, take this as an invitation. Ask yourself, what can I learn about me and my patterns in this situation? When you release the need to control the other person and instead focus on your own alignment, you start creating a life and love that reflect your highest self. Remember, relationships are our greatest teachers, and every one of them is an opportunity for exponential growth. We have to be ready and willing to take 100% responsibility for everything in our lives. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who might need this message. And I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.